May 2nd, 2021. How are you all? I'm taking you to a peaceful corner here in the nature to speak with you about what I'm accumulating for the last days, looking in astrology, looking in different charts, and hopefully it will be insightful for all of you. So I'll take a seat and I will start sharing with you what are in my mind. As you know, yesterday, May 1st, I announced the new live charts for different indices, and indeed it's still showing until end of June. And very nice trend, and how the trend so far went. Congratulations to all the last followers of the previous chart and those that are continuing. But it did a very good job. But even that I'm announcing the next 6 months ahead into the end of the year, I'm running a private one and very general projection until the official forecast will appear. And together with sitting with astrology as looking in the collective consciousness, we all need to make plans. And it seems very difficult and challenging to make plans in such a world. So I would like to discuss with you about what seems to happen and what we need to prepare ourselves for. I hope the wind is not too in your ears. It's always a challenge to record in the nature or outside, outdoors. At least you're listening to the sound of the water. You could see. So, May is very busy astrology. Very busy. Why? Jupiter moving to Pisces. We will discuss about it. Uranus and Saturn again doing exact square. It's breaking the reality. We have an eclipse in the 26th of May. Lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. Saturn will start to retrograde a few days before the eclipse. Mercury will be in Gemini near to the North Node and ready to be in shadow to retrograde in Gemini. Mars will enter to Gemini as well to meet with Rahu, with the North Node. The timing of eclipses are very pivotal because they are summarizing 6 months and opening 6 months projection as I'm looking on the solar eclipse that will occur exactly on my birthday, or at least 24 hours after, in June. So, it's a lot of information and very hard to predict the events that will happen in the world. But I'm using the tool of the Astro Finance, how I'm drawing the markets, and it's already giving some other hints that not accessible to most people. People are just guessing, yeah, this will be positive to the market. I'm showing how. And I said already months ago, and a very specific one in January, speaking until the end of the first half of this year, in June. That S&P is going to the 4,500 until before June ends, and crypto space to the moon is continuing, and how people that remaining in the dollar are declining in very severe way. Most businesses that are basing on dollars also, in other words, reducing value as the alternative asset is growing. We also see, before 2020 started, I alerted so much how the world is going to change from 2020, indicated by Saturn and Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, and together with so many crazy aspects that we had during 2020, it was so easy to understand that don't build on nothing that was stable until 2019, because this is like the edge of the old world, astrologically speaking. Now, 2021 is already the real game. We are starting to see major phenomena of that people cannot accept. Also in 2020 it was hard to accept, but still people were very much consolidating with each other. Maybe it's to our favor or for going back to normal, but 2021 is changing our life. It's too big to say, but forever. And the economy value, how governments ruling currencies, how we are obeying to different rules on top of those currencies. We always need to have order. But when it's become too much order, the way that governments are pushing us, it's starting to become a chaos. And this chaos is also going to serve us to create a new order. We spoke, Saturn Pluto in January 2020 is a new world order. And not just of them, it's also of people. And this is so hard for people to plan a new world of ourselves. We know we've never educated about it. A lot of people that I know that have a lot of money from different countries I speak with, saying, all this Bitcoin junk, it will break, it will not sustain. They are still believing that the same structure that held us for hundreds of years, under empires, would continue the same way. Yet, when you are speaking about tectonic movements, it's not visible from one day to another, but you could notice to the process. As we see, people continue to gain their money in the government money, and spending in this, and all the rest, for most of people, seems like whatever. The world is crazy, so also crypto is crazy inside this, but it's not that. So, this is so many things to speak that I even don't know how to attack the points that I want to bring you here. I would start with the S&P. It's not final, but yesterday I will start to trigger my method forward. I'm announcing it formally from the very end of June, but I'm starting to see and to check with astrology cycles and with the charts that I'm still drawing what is coming. And I'm telling you, this summer into the autumn, it's going to be scary. It's just scary because it's like above any sense. It's not final, but I'm seeing that into September the S&P can even take the 6,000, 5,500, 6,000. I know that a lot of people that hate the structure and want to do their rebel by shorting the stock market hate hearing it. But you don't need to short the stock market. You need to go to other markets or to continue with the beast. Now it's not going to go in straight line. And in the live chart you could see already where I'm showing. Now you will see until the end of June, but from July 1st, how I'm showing the potential correction that could be very brutal, like 20% in few days. This one, but it will continue pushing higher. What will culminate into September, October of this year is scary indeed. The stock market, I don't know how strong or fast it will be able to correct from what will happen then. And it's not final. But of course, the crypto space will increase, and many cryptos, in more 100%. Even that it seems to people already exaggerated so far. This is more room to take, more room to feel. Much more. And I'm mostly speaking about the altcoins. Also, XRP is projected to do more than 200% in the next months. Probably more than 300. The money is changing hands. The money is changing form. And this is meaning a lot about how this world is changing. And this is the hardest part for people. Because we used to be slaves mentality for so many years. And when the power is coming back, like the flood, the water, the tide is taking all the boats that were in the sand before up. And suddenly we need to start asking how we are using it. How we are going to start connecting with the world, with this bless. And to change something in the world. This is the introduction of Uranus wearing Saturn now. Uranus is moving direct and Saturn ready to retrograde, is slowing down. So now it's like Uranus is squaring Saturn. It's like people challenging the structure, the government. And that's what is hard for people to understand, that we have the power. That we have now, if we will just dare to push more of the wall can fall, or to start open some doors that were closed to many people before. And this is why it was so in the astrology showing us take risk, specifically in April. It was our opportunity to take risk and to push. Now, it's not going to be a quick win. Totally not. But this is part of the dynamic of any battle. You are not winning a gigantic feature in one drop. It's not the story of Goliath and David. This is something here that needs to be drawn specifically as it's part of the nature cycle for a period and in gradual way. This takes time. This is the day until the sunset, until the other day, until constellation changing, the planets changing constellation location. It's a process, but we're at least understanding where we are going, where the wind is changing, to what season we are going. Jupiter is entering to Pisces, just will give us a taste of Pisces for a few weeks, and then in the sun solstice, June 21st, to start moving retrograde. It's fascinating because Jupiter had a big event in the sun solstice of the winter with Saturn. For the first time, came out from the Saturn horrific area it was, and we understood that this is a shift officially of the financial system, Jupiter and Saturn. But we are starting to see it gradually. Now Jupiter will enter to Pisces 2 degrees and will go back to Aquarius until the end of the year. So Jupiter and Saturn both will be in retro during the summer. So Jupiter is also the ruler of the South Node right now, ruling of travels and rights. Because Mercury, the opposite of Jupiter, is also going to be, and Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, and it's the ruler of the North Node, and ruling all the trade, ruling all the values, ruling all things about documents, information, media, the green passport they are trying to push. It's going to be a crazy summer by the application as a trial. to force the green vaccine to be able to travel. And let's see what sort of revolution this will create. Because on the same time, Uranus squaring Saturn. And all those events won't bother to the markets to inflate and inflate and inflate. And people that are keeping their money close to their pocket without investing it or going to a future investment are continue to decline and decline and decline. So more than just taking the tourism out and reducing the level of tourism because of limitation, imagine people holding the old bags of government money and declining. Add to this that Mercury is going to retrograde in Gemini, in its home sign, on the North Node, when Jupiter is retrograde from Pisces, that is ruling the South Node. It's not different than reminding me chaos culminating. In April 2022, Jupiter and Neptune, Zeus and Poseidon are going to meet. If you want to have some mythology to search how they were interacted together. And into this time, it could do a lot of deadly events. The last time that Jupiter and Neptune met in Pisces was in 1858, I think, 10 years before the Civil War. But from that time, all the factors that led to the Civil War started to appear. Also was the witch hunts, the slum, taking rights from women, blaming them to be non-good Christian, and killing them. Because Pisces, specifically when Jupiter will come to this, is ruling jails, concentration camps, and also spirituality. So it will be like, you know, last time they blamed the witches that were spiritual, light workers. So they killed them. Who is a light worker? The beast doesn't want to have light here. So shut down, censor. At the events of this revolution will start is a battle between the old structure to the new structure, but you could not be passive, because if you're passive, and I'm not speaking about being active in the street, I'm saying about finding solution out and learning and going to proceed out from what is creating injustices. If you are passive and just continue to maintain the status quo, without even wondering or bother how to do it else, you will be covered by the beast web. So at least, if to be passive, at least to hide under something that is neutral, that is like, I don't know even how to say the word, rather than go out to something that is not part of the system. So when the good power will start to increase, at least you could join them. However, it's crazy because the balloon of the markets is going to continue majorly higher, specifically into this autumn. But this will continue as well, because I'm saying, and I said in January, that Bitcoin will continue to increase into $250,000, 250K by the mid of 2023. And this is very worrying because imagine what's the application of such factor. You know, if I'm telling you in 2 years, okay. Okay, just very simple example, but in 2018, I'm telling you, I'm seeing that in 2020, 2021, people will go with covering their face and very little people will be in the streets and the airports will be empty. What you will think that is happening? Or how you would predict the economy on such event? You understand that something is happening, right? So any event that someone can tell you as a feature can help you to project what sort of this application could show on the other. So the crypto space will continue to grow as a beast. What it will do to the other economy, what it will do to people, what it will do to many other businesses, what it will do to government, to pay to the taxes, to all those things. But indeed, I'm telling that nothing will go in straight line. It will be in the way of the next year and a half. Fatalic drop of 80%, maybe from 160K in Bitcoin to 90. So indeed, for long-term holders, what the fuck, of course, shake the weekends. But there are some people that waking up late, are really going to a more risky place in order to sustain the changes on the way. But as I'm saying, also the stock market is continuing. So of course that oil price also will grow. And this is a scary balloon, that this is exactly now the power of the beast to inflate, and the other power of the outer, of the crypto, that is like Uranus, that is, call it extraterrestrial power, not letting it, and challenging the government ability to control it. The system is primitive, is slow, is huge and slow. See how even big dog and little dog can move. The big is slow. The bigger you become, the slower you are. This is why we needed during the last year and a half to follow the Gemini way, the Mercury in the North Node, to be small and flexible, so you could adapt to all the changes quickly with little groups and to make your way out. Not to carry too much responsibilities on you in the way that everything will continue forever. And by September, what is happening? The North Node will move to Taurus, and the South Node will be in Scorpio. Yeah, this is another debate that I will dedicate a video about it, what it means. But many countries born in this axis, this period of time, India, Israel, Pakistan, CCP, all born in this time. And the first Brexit ever, England, the United Kingdom, British Empire, going back home from the Middle East and Asia. So let's see which empire will live some parts in peace. I think it's enough. I still take a lot of information to process it, and just wanted to be inspirational, and I will give more information as things start to be more clear in my charts for periods that I'm still not covering. and very much worry for all the millions of people that got a vaccine. Very worried. This is Jupiter in Pisces, giving a taste of what we could see in this summer. And from next year, when Jupiter and Neptune will meet in Pisces. The battle between people and the structure will last until the end of Pluto in Capricorn, until the middle of 2023, at least. In 2022, we will see changes that we could not sustain. We will sustain, but it's going to be life-changing. Now it's like structural. It's like we are trying to move between the structures. But 2022, even just numerology of it, it just will be a lot of death. Probably, or a lot of sick people. The world will change in a way that we can imagine. This is it. Love you all. Bye for now.